Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 3 of Galorants Community League. That's GCL. And this season, we are powered by, supported by Elgato. Very special season indeed. I'm Jess, and joining me today is Kira. Hi, Kira.
Hello.
And to start us off, first game. Again, we are split into 3 divisions. That's Learning, Owning, and Open. The match you're watching right now will be the Learning division, and that will be between the Iron Maidens and Team Eden. Now, of course, this will be 2 matches between these 2 teams, and after that, we'll be switching gears to another matchup between 2 teams in the other division. But again, focusing on this game, seems like we are going to be starting off on Split, and Iron Maidens have chosen to attack. Any initial thoughts on the comps or the maps we're seeing so far, Kira?
Yeah, so me personally, I like Split. Split is a very nice map, and we do see on Iron Maidens that they have chosen the double Sentinel lineup, so they do have Lucky on that Sage and I'dcat on the Killjoy. And that's going to be very strong. I kind of maybe expect Killjoy to play on A, and Sage to play in mid with the typical wall that we see in most of the games. I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen a Sage play anywhere else. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, no, you're true. I always see that Sage wall. It's a classic. I mean, I don't blame them. Mid is a hotly contested area on Split. But yeah, like, speaking about comps as well, very interested to see the Sova. I feel like we don't see many Sovas come out on Split either, just because the buildings are so tall. It makes the lineups a lot farther to hit. So to see the lineups in store coming out from Kate.
For sure, especially since I don't play Sova myself, so I love to see where the arrows line up, and sometimes people have some pretty pog Shock Dart positions, so maybe we'll see some Shock Dart kills this time?
Yes, hopefully. Always satisfying to watch. But yes, now we are in, and looks like most of the team will be going towards this B side area, and that's Iron Maidens on attack, already making their way onto site. Getting that plant down within seconds of this round starting, and now the pistol action is going to ensue. Cat getting the first blood onto Kulat. That's going to start things off as we get a bit of a standoff with the rest of the team on site. And they're just going to be waiting that wall out.
I'm a little bit surprised that Eden ended up not playing anybody on that site, and Iron Maidens was able to get it for free. Sarah's still able to get one though here.
Yeah, she does, but that's the only one coming out. There's only 2 members left of Team Eden, and they're kind of stuck out here. Looks like they are going to forego this spike, and the round will be going over to Iron Maidens.
And here, if Eden actually decide to save, their money is not going to look good that second round, especially with the pistols. Worm having that classic. Ooh, we see 1.3k and 1.2k on her. But yeah, right there, we do see Iron Maidens have such a strong post plant. We see the Sage Wall went up in CT in addition to the Killjoy grenades. We see the Sova Shock Dart coming out, and that just held off Eden for such a long time. And in the end, they're left with 2 members. No way to push on the site, forfeiting that first round.
And yeah, off of that round win too, Iron Maidens all forcing up with Spectres. So this is going to be a rough one for Team Eden, but don't count them out.
Of course not. We have seen pretty good rounds of saves, but ooh, she's is pushed up super far.
But she gets one. Yuli is going to fall, and yeah, she pushed up super far in male so early. There's still 1 more on Heaven, however, and that's going to be Bun Bun, who goes down shortly. Just 1 person on this B site. And the lone defender here is going to see the plant, stops it, gets the kill, but will fall. And it's just Sarah left. It's Spike down B, 4 members. This is going to be tough.
Iron Maiden's there, just able to push up so aggressively mid with She's as well. I don't believe she used any flashes or anything like that in there. Killer Fembot will get that last kill. But she just kind of dry peeked that with both of them, able to get both of them as well, especially with that weapon advantage. And from there, numbers advantage, gun advantage, we're just able to take over B site. So hopefully this round, when they are on bonus, and Eden is, I guess, also kind of on a half buy right now, the money is not looking too great on that side as well. There will only be one rifle coming out from Kulat. That rifle is going to be playing B, where they have a heavy stack, but Iron Maidens have moved themselves toward A.
Oh yeah, they probably stacked B thinking that they would go there again since they went the last 2 rounds. But sights are set on A, and it's just going to be Sarah here who will see all this util coming out. The smokes and the drone are in full effect, and she's going to back off while the rest of the team rotates along with her. But that is just going to give enough time for Iron Maidens to make their way onto this free site.
We'll probably see again that strong post play because Iron Maidens has once again basically gotten sight for free.
Spike planted.
But now at least we're in a 5v5 retake situation.
Ooh, yes. 5v5 to make that 5v4. Sarah actually gonna land a grenade kill onto Killer Fembot to start things off, but that Sage Wall is just going to be the divider between the two teams. Kulat is gonna make her way, gets one. Bodies are dropping very rapidly. Their advantage, yes. Both teams are evening out these numbers. And it's just going to be left to a 2v2 now that the Sage Wall is finally down with that flash. Getting the wrong people as 2 are going to fall and the defuse will be coming out. Giving... Wait, is it enough time?
I think it's okay.
Yes, they're in. That's going to be a 1-2. Team Eden picking that up.
Yeah, I actually really like the use of the Sage Wall there by Lucky. I feel like I don't see it too often at the front of that site, kind of cutting it off, and the defenders just had to come in either through elbow or kind of take pot shots from heaven. But there's obviously so much cover on site that that's a little bit difficult. But in the end there, I think it was that unlucky flash that actually caught both members of Iron Maidens off guard, and Eden was able to finish off those 2 kills and secure that round for their first one. But now she does have the run it back available, and once again they are pushing toward A.
Sarah gonna spot them again, and she's gonna have another member on site joining her this time around. But again, they're going to just fall back a bit while the rest of the cavalry comes. But what is this? They're making this quick rotation through sewers.
Yeah, and Eden is staying their ground on A. They do send out that Hawk, and that's not going to find anybody. So now they do have an inkling that Iron Maidens is no longer going to rush on that A site like they used to rush the other sites. They will be taking more control of mid now. But we do have Sarah coming from one side and the rest of Eden on the other.
Right here.
Oh yeah, they're coming in on this heaven push, but is going to spot one. That's Yuli. There's another in stairs, and she's going to peek out right now. Trade out her teammate and gets 2. That's Bun Bun on the 3K. Will she get this last one? Yes, she does. A 4K coming out from Bun Bun, single-handedly defending this push. That's going to give another round to Team Eden.
I was about to ask, is that the Glitch Pop Bulldog? And then I realized it was actually the Vandal. I got so confused for a second. I was like, how are these one-shot headshots just like killing all of them?
Oh,
that was a great... Yeah. That was a great 4K by Bun Bun there, able to hold off Iron Maidens in B Heaven, even though when they rotated off A. And now, since A hasn't worked out too well, they will be going toward B again. But Bun Bun is here with her lockdown, so if they come, but she's will pop that running down mid.
She's flying in. She sees the Reyna. The Reyna and Yuli will pop the Empress. And just behind those dark covers is the entire team in Iron Maidens. It's going to dissipate, and she's not going to poke out just yet. Iron Maidens going across the map through sewers and now looking to set their sights on A, which is completely empty.
Seems like Eden does have an inkling that they could be coming to A, so there are 2 members rotating already from CT spawn. But they will not get to screens fast enough to stop them. As I say this, they will at least smoke that out.
Ooh, yes.
But still very slow onto site.
All the smokes are out. So are the grenades, but this plant still gonna be able to go down. And another 5v5. What? Actually going to get by that Sage Ball and catches one off guard, but she will be caught off guard herself. Kate getting that one. This lockdown is going to be initiated as bodies are dropping. Only 2 members left on the side of Iron Maidens, and they're both trying to protect this lockdown, losing their lives in the process. And that's going to be the defuse.
Yeah, I actually really like that lockdown there from Bun Bun. By placing it there, she was basically able to clear that entire A site, and the members of Iron Maidens had to leave. Even though the lockdown was popped by Cat as well, it was popped a little bit later, so they didn't want to risk being detained on site and then being like, wait, 2 more seconds, please, for the other team to be detained as well. But they were just able to catch off those members that were retreating to A main. And therefore, Eden was able to get their 3rd round right now.
They on a hot streak.
Hot streak. You know, maybe the momentum will go super back and forth. Maybe it's time for Iron Maidens to get those 2 rounds again. We'll see as they are coming toward B. And this time, there is more Killjoy utility at the very front of site. So that should at least slow them down a little bit and not let them have sight for free.
Ooh, yes, not to mention there's 2 Heaven Culottes going to be on site. It is going to be spotted by this drone. And there's the Killjoy util going to start peeking and chipping down some of these members. Sage Wall will be there to shield them off Kulot. Again, still on site. Is going to see the entry, but will fall. But able to pick one up per team. And they're still not on site. They're still trying, but this orbital strike is going to help them create some space just a bit. Bun Bun is right on in it, is able to get one before she falls. Now it's a 2v2. Yuli, the only one here on site. Sarah still making her way. She's trying to stall out long enough for her teammate to come around the corner.
She will be coming on this flank, and I think Iron Maidens does expect this a little bit. But will she get this? She'll peek into both of the members, actually.
Oh man, this Molly's making it so hard to defuse. Already at 44 health, but Cat low is going to fall to Yuli, who clutches that out, and the defuse is going to come in once again on the side of Eden, and that's 4 in a row.
Yep, no, as I was saying, maybe Iron Maidens will win this one. Turns out Eden will win that one. Yeah, it seems like Iron Maidens right now are mostly playing as a group of 5 and going on the site, and they're like rotating together as well, not really having a member to maybe make some noise on the other site and lure Eden away. So maybe they do want to try that out in the 7th round, as it seems like their 5-man pushes are not super fast onto the site, which is giving Eden so much time to rotate members, especially we saw there at the very end. We saw that they kind of just like held there, didn't really push that one guy on site, and so Sarah was able to come back and help her as well and finish that round off.
And yeah, looks like off of that, as you mentioned, Kira, they're not going to try to group this time. Kind of a split, edging towards the B main and the mid area, but Worm going to be spotting some of these bodies before the dark covers do come down. The Molly going to push her out of the vents area, so she no longer has vision, and Iron Maidens are playing this a bit slower this time around.
But they are split here between mid and B. There is no one at A, so none of that noise is drawing away Eden. And we actually do see there that Kate catches off Colette. And now I don't think Eden knows exactly where Iron Maidens are.
Yeah, off of that pick, Iron Maidens are now grouping up once again. They know they have mid for free, but that Molly's going to make it hard for them to go towards the male. Worm here, however, taking a very sneaky position in vents, going to do a hit and run, gets one, and goes off. Is going to know that some people are still there and catches out Killer Fembot, who's trying to avenge her teammate. And they're going to opt to get out of this vents area now. Waiting on the wings, is able to catch one. This timer is ticking. There's only 10 seconds left. Res does come out. 2 members are alive, but they know where they're coming from. It's 2v2 on the heaven, and time is gone. And that's going to be another round for Eden. Simply no time for Iron Maidens to get onto site and plant the bomb.
At least she's there, was able to take down Haim Sarah, but the economy for Eden is just so strong right now, that pick is not going to matter. And right there, once again, we do see Iron Maiden slowed down so much in vents. And so Eden were basically able to encroach on them from both sides right there. And especially with, I don't remember who it was it Worm who got those kills in vents right there? Yeah, those 2 kills, they were just trapped in there. They had nowhere to go. And with time running down, they were not able to break through either side. But now, actually, we do have them split. We have 3B and 2A, so yay!
They're split on split.
Okay. Okay, Jess.
I'm sorry. Anyways! Yes, they are split, Kira, but the spike is going to be on the side of A. We saw the dart come out, and it does catch out Worm, so she kind of had to fall back there since her position was given away. And because of that as well, the util being used seems like most of Team Eden are going to be gearing towards this A area, and that was the right call as well since the spike is there, and Cat falling Kate not so long after, and now that Spike's gone, ooh, Iron Maidens is a bit of a predicament, seeing as most of their team is going to be on this B site.
I think that was really unfortunate there. I think Iron Maidens was trying to use those 2 members and sneak onto site and have those other 3 members distract on B. But I don't know if enough noise was made on B because the rest of Eden were already at A, so it's basically a 2v5, and fighting that would be so difficult, as we just saw. But now the rest of Iron Maidens will be encroaching onto A, but it's a 2v4 situation with 15 seconds left.
Ooh, and this Raze util too is gonna make them
10 seconds
think about going to A site. They simply just have to give this up.
No charges left.
And just looking toward that is that operator getting that 1 kill. But at least that will be recovered. Yeah, going into this next round, we do see quite a bit of ultimates up right now. Op is still on Haim Sarah, but there is the Showstopper, the Lockdown, the Creepy Crawly Seekers, and the Empress. But at least Iron Maidens does have some of these offensive ults. They do have Hunter's Fury, they have the Run It Back, and the Lockdown as well. So I'm hoping maybe in this round that Iron Maidens will 5-man push or 5-man rush onto a site and try to overwhelm Eden. Because if they get a few initial picks, I think because we saw that their holding ability was so strong, they could potentially get a round in their books.
Yeah, and they're actually looking for this charge as well. Run It Back going to be used to create some space. Lockdown as well. They're really trying to take hold of the site. Like Yuli going to take down Kane before that can even happen. And shots are going to fly through the smokes to do a lot of damage onto Worm as Iron Maidens make their way onto site and are going to put down this plant.
Yeah, but that is the Hunter's Fury down though, so suddenly the retake becomes, suddenly the hold becomes so much more scary.
Ooh.
But they're actually just able to take down the bodies of Eden.
Ooh, but this lockdown coming now from the offensive side is going to kind of jumble up the positioning of Iron Maidens.
Going up.
When the defuse already halfway, I don't know if they know. Cat clutches that. That was so close to going full, and it's going to be Killjoy versus Killjoy here, but who wins out? Bun Bun will.
Imagine if I died.
Don't have enough time. Oh, yeah, I was also waiting for a second. I was like, I'm not too sure, but at least that was half there, and I feel like my predictions are just coming true. You know, they did 5-man rush, they used those offensive ults, and able to get on site there, but unfortunately at the very end, not able to hold it off, as Eden were just able to use that 1 ult in order to push off the rest of Iron Maidens. I feel like we saw that, how many rounds ago? Maybe 4 or 5 rounds ago? Where I feel like that exact same situation happened.
Placing alarm bot.
Oh, looks like... there will be no pause coming through. I was like, unsure. Looks like they will be moving their way, Iron Maidens will be moving their way toward A now, and They only have that one offensive ult, so it will be a little bit harder to combat I Am Sarah and Yuli as well because of that showstopper.
Ooh, and the dark came out too, so I feel like they're gonna know that there's some presence there. But they're switching things up. They're going through sewers. They know that the other team always thinks that as soon as they see util, they're going to full send it, and they're not gonna play into that anymore. And they're gonna go mid now that the rest of the other team has made their way to A.
Yeah, but now Eden, I think they know something's up, and the wall's gonna go down to block off Vents, but the rest of Eden is coming up.
Oh, it's gonna get bloody in heaven real quick. Sarah starting things off with that showstopper on the killer fembot, and kills are coming out. 2 for Worm.
One enemy
So
remaining.
very quickly, she's
30
the
seconds
only
left.
remaining member left.
This is gonna be very difficult. She does have the run it back available, but this is a 1v3. Spike is down on site. If she wins this fight,
He was waiting for stairs. Yuli gonna catch that out.
yeah, man. Once again, we just saw that Iron Maidens tried to go on a little bit, made a little bit of noise, and then just slowly rotated toward mid. At least they were able to get mid control, but once again, I feel like they are stalling a little bit. I mean, just a little bit too much. But this round, we actually do have the run it back again coming up from Shees, and hopefully she uses it here at B so that they can crack this site. But the Killjoy utility in the front again is just going to be so brutal.
Ooh, yeah, and Sarah's taking up this very sneaky position as well. There's that run it back you were talking about, Kira. It's going to be used to create some space, but they don't know Sarah's... Okay, now they do. That dart is going to do work, and there she goes, Kate. Getting that very rewarded kill, very deserved kill from the information that her dart gave her.
We will be in a 4v5 retake. The Empress has already been popped, and the Seeker's available as well. The Hunter's Fury is now going to go down, in fact, but they do have Orbital Strike. But if Killer Fembot gets taken down, which she actually will, this is looking worse and worse for Iron Maidens.
Yeah, there's only 2 left, and there's creepy crawlers. Going to give information on where they are. They're blinded. She's not going to be able to fight back there. There's the... Wow, Cat actually going to get that volley kill, but then will fall to Bun Bun with the help of those creepy crawlers. And that's another round going to Team Eden, giving us a 9-2 so far.
For a minute there, I was like, did she shoot something? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I thought she shot through the smoke and got that.
Yeah, I was like, that would have been so sick. And then I was like, wait, but the Seekers are right in front of her. So that didn't make sense to me. But coming out there, it was that Molly kill. And once again, we do see they do still have that Hunter's Fury and Orbital Strike, which are so good for holding. But those members just get taken down and they can't utilize those ults. And I think for this round, when they do, that was a very good push onto site initially, but they do need to keep those members alive.
Oh yeah, for sure. Really hope they use it this round because, of course, it is the last round. And yeah, it looks like we're getting a bit of a repeat what we saw last round. Trying to go in to B once again to clear out this util, but just not fast enough as that Molly's going to create an even bigger delay, allowing the rest of Eden to make their way onto site. And this lockdown is going to be used to help Iron Maidens get onto the site. As the rest of Team Eden will have to wait on the wings, wait for this ult to go through.
It's also important to note that Iron Maidens is on that partial buy, so Eden does have the weapon advantage.
Spike planted.
Ooh, and there's the Hunter's Fury finally coming through and is going to connect on one. Will miss the other 2. That's some good damage. However, Kate is going to be damaged quite herself. Ooh, but she's coming through with those Spectre kills. Gets a 3k, and Bun Bun suddenly the only member left. Going to come in from the back area. The alarm bot and the Molly gonna help Lucky out and get that kill to end us with the first half at 9-3, favoring Team Eden.
Yeah, Eden there just lined up coming out of CT. Those three members were just able to get shot down, especially with the Sage slow there. They just had to slow peek that. And since the rest of Iron Maidens was on site, they were just able to like spray in that general direction and just mow down those three members. And then the last member left alive was like, oh no, what do I do now? And with that Killjoy utility on the bomb, I'm not too sure if they stood a chance.
Yeah, big monka-ass moment.
But going into this half, we do have Eden on the attack, and it seems like they were really good about rotating and also like playing those defaults as well after the first 2 rounds. But it seems like they are stacked all 5 at A.
Yeah, the Sage Wall we were talking about earlier too, actually not going to be used in mid, instead used in this air area, which again feels like it was such a good play as now they have to set their sights elsewhere, moving through sewers into this potential molly coming out from Killer Fembot.
Have we actually seen that Sage Wall
Launching smoke.
mid? I feel like I haven't seen it. Maybe I'm
Wait.
wrong.
Wait, now you mentioned it. Maybe not. Okay.
Right? now I'm confused. I'm like, my information about the game is all wrong.
What are we watching? They've made their way mid, but we're gonna see. Oh, she's coming out. Oh, she doesn't know Sarah's there, and she's gonna fall. It's so
Spike down,
one
mid.
button. It's just bodies falling all around. Lucky going to see the butts of a few members crossing by. Not gonna connect those shots, but has the intel
remaining.
and is
Last
going to
player
fall.
standing.
Which is going to be this 1v1
30
between
seconds
Sarah
left.
and Kat. They both know where each other are. But Sarah gonna make a beeline. Not anymore. She's staying. She's determined. This B site is hers, and she's going for it.
She's playing those mind games. She should have enough time to plant here, and
10 seconds left.
Kat is going to be a little bit hesitant about going to A. We see the turret come down, but the plant will go down from Sarah. Now it'll be a 1v1. She does at least have this ghost and information that Kat has probably rotated toward A, so...
Oh, dang.
Oh.
She couldn't catch on the rotate because Kat opted to go up to heaven. Now she's going to put her util down to try to get a sense of where exactly Sarah is. But now that she's coming back, they might just meet each other right here, right now. And Sarah was ready for it, and she gets it. A 3K coming out from her for this round. And they're inching closer and closer to this map victory.
Yeah, once again, I felt like I saw a little bit of a replay of some of the rounds from the previous half. We saw they did make some noise A, or Eden made some noise A. The Sage Wall came up, and then they rotated through sewers to go mid, and then there was that huge bloodbath ending up in that 1v1 situation, and Eden was able to clutch that out that time from Sarah, so I guess it did end up working for them, but I don't know if that's going to work again.
Ooh, yeah, for sure. And this time around, some mixed buys coming out as well. So this could be another bloodbath in the making, Kira.
Indeed, and it seems like Iron Maiden has actually have 2 members forced up right now, and in a 10-3 game, I'd probably force up here too, because if you force up here and win, then at least that kills the economy a little bit of Eden. But once again, we do see all that Killjoy utility sitting in front of B site. And this will be a little difficult.
Well, this Killjoy util, they're gonna know that people are rushing, bodies are coming, and the site has been claimed. Worm going to know someone's waiting here and gets that shot, going to start things off. This plant is going to fall down as the rest of the team are going to make their way. 1 member down.
Gone.
Ooh, and almost simultaneously, both members are going to get one. Ooh, Kane, another one as well coming out from her. There's just going to be 2 members left in Kula and Yuli here. Yuli opting to push out to potentially catch someone on the rotate, and that's going to be Killer Fembot going down. Now 2v2, still very winnable.
1 enemy remaining.
It's left to Yuli and Lucky. Only 20 HP, trying to hold this out. She won't have enough time.
Yeah, she has to go defuse, and she is not going to make it. So that will be round number 11 for Eden. And that's going to put the economy of Iron Maidens back so much. I was like, did I get that right? And then I looked at the screen and I was like, wait a second, that's 6K, but I was looking at Eden's economy there. And now this round, we do actually have that showstopper available, so that could allow for Eden to storm the site that they're choosing, which looks like is B again, as they've had the success for the first 2 rounds of the half here. It's the Sage Wall! It's the Sage Wall mid that I was talking about! We'll get spammed down
there
though.
it goes.
Yeah, there it goes.
The slow coming out from Lucky as well. And the smokes basically saying, nah, don't come mid. And mid they won't be coming through. But Kate, pushing through the sewers, going to see the members, and is going to fall to Sarah. But now that they have the information that they are in sewers, and they're making a beeline towards A. Now that they know Kate's gone, Cheese is the only one here who could potentially delay this push.
If Cheese is praying pretty far back in heaven as well, so seems like she will give up A site and wait for the rest of her team to retake. Seems like we'll wait a bit for the plan to go down. There we go. But I actually do like here, last round as well, Iron Maidens was coming in from different directions, but Yuli is able to take down Cheese.
Yeah, that was so risky going through the smoke, and bodies are just dropping. Killer Fembot, now the member left. She's gonna fall, and that's a flawless round coming out from Team Eden, and they're at match point, Kira.
Yeah, and you know, as I was saying that I really like they were coming from so many different angles, they just need to win those fights. And it didn't happen in the previous round, and unfortunately was not able to happen in that round as well. And now, especially with Iron Maidens on this partial buy, things are looking really grim for them. They don't have any ultimates up as well. Kate is 1 ult point away from getting that Hunter's Fury, so if she does get a kill, there is a possibility that she could slow down the push from slow down the push from Eden. But once again, that showstopper is still available, and the Seekers are as well. So those could be instrumental in them getting on this A site.
Is going to start us off as they try to create some space to make their way onto the site, but the members will be hearing all of this util being used. She's just on the outskirts of this dark cover as she watches and listens to the spike being planted, and this is going to be a full-on 5v5, and that's the showstopper you're talking about, Kira. That's going to collect one on She's 3 members left.
I've got your trail.
And the trails have been got. Skies will be coming out. Both 2 members left, and she finds them both, gets the flash on, connects the shots. Cat's gonna go down, and she's gonna be lucky. Worm's on this solo mission right here, and she's going to get that. And that will be the first map going in favor of Team Eden.
I think for the next game, I just want to see people 5-man push onto a site. Just use those offensive ultimates, push on, and get control, and maybe wait for more of that post plant. So we did notice that Iron Maiden's post plant was pretty strong, but in the later rounds, they were just unable to actually get on that site, which means that they couldn't use all those post plant abilities, or their members got taken down who had the post plant abilities so that they couldn't hold it.